Obaseki cannot force us to be vaccinated. Hundreds protest in Benin. The no COVID-19 vaccine, no public gathering order of Governor Gordon Obaseki led to massive protests by civil society groups on Monday in Benin, Edo State. The protesters under the aegis of equity initiatives marched through various streets in Benin to the Benin branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Nigerian Union of Journalists, and Edo State Government House. Obaseki had, at a briefing last week, named such gatherings to include church, mosques, banks, wedding or burial receptions, among others. He stated that such gathering would no longer be accessed without presenting the vaccination certificate from the second week of September. Do they have that many the vaccines? Wait, they don't say the public health. Do they have that many vaccines from now to September to then vaccinate the whole of Edo State? I'll be realistic. Come on. All this is just for what? To follow protocol and make it sound like as if, Nigeria is out here doing the most. When they're not, please. The governor further stated in the briefing that this third wave of COVID-19 is causing devastating effects across the country. Hence, the need to introduce stiffer measures to reduce the effect. For Nigeria, yeah. Okay. Armed with placards with various inscriptions like Obaseki cannot force us to take COVID-19 vaccines, I have right to mosque, we have right to decide, among others, the peaceful protesters said the government's order was tantamount to trampling on the fundamental rights of citizens. True. They asked the governor to face infrastructural decay and insecurity in the state. Christiyama, who spoke for the group, said, "We are here to express our displeasure over the government's moves to force Edo people to take COVID-19 vaccines. This is against our fundamental human rights. You cannot force someone to eat what he or she doesn't want. Are we in Banana Republic? We own the state, not the government." Ooh, better preach. Also speaking, the interim state chairman, Edo Civil Society Organization, Bishop Osadolo Anthony Oche, said citizens of the state have the right to decide whether to be vaccinated or not. According to him, if government has failed, if we cannot fail ourselves, government has the right to make policies, but this policy is not law. You see, why they came out to protest, to be really honest, yeah, is that the government threatens core Nigerian activities that I mean, let's look at the activities that were banned. Let me even go back and see what activities were banned. Oh my gosh, let me I need to find it, because you say burial reception, you say church, you say mosques, you say what other thing were banned? Banks, wedding. Let's go back. Wedding. Like, it's like you want a war. It's like the government actually wants, you're going to stop Nigerians from attending wedding if they are vaccinated or not. You think Nigeria, this protest, all of a sudden, they're protesting. I'm like, it's because of the weddings. What do you mean? Weddings, church, burial, party, what? Or any gathering, social gathering of any kind, and you say Nigerians have to be vaccinated, or the people of Edo State specifically have to be vaccinated, or they do not go. Sure. Will they have to pay? Because it should be free. It should be free. It's so funny. Why should people trust? Have you seen the state of your public hospitals? After how many years you have not been giving them proper health care? It is now this vaccine that you want to force them to take. Absolutely not. And on top of that, it's not that you are just giving them the vaccine and that trust is not there. You then want to limit Nigerians. You want to limit people of Edo State to go to parties and weddings because they're not vaccinated. Then of course you see their wrath. They will come out. These things are important to a Nigerian. Of course they will come out and protest. What do you mean? It's an insult. Total insult. So I thought as much. I knew this was going to happen. I knew protest was imminent when that buffoon made that statement. I mean, jokes aside, I'm not even trying to be joking. Listen, Nigerians know what is value is put to them, and when you are trying to take that away, they will protest and fight you against it, and absolutely, as they should. Thing is, it doesn't make sense. Of course, it doesn't make sense. You can't force them to be vaccinated. Will you pay for the vaccine? Do Nigerians even do Nigerians can they have access to free tests, to free COVID tests at their will anytime, any day? Let me go do COVID test. And you have not been providing, standard healthcare. All of a sudden, you want to now give them a vaccine. Come on, that's wickedness. Someone here says most of our leaders need to be educated about leadership. Okay. But he can ask you not to come near him if you're not vaccinated. Come near him. I mean, who will he have access to? Who's he talking to? Please, Obaseki should do more infrastructure and security, as well as the being of the people of Edo State. See, that's it. That is it. Literally. That is literally is. Someone says, as dangerous as and considered as HIV, Ebola, yes. I wonder why there was no vaccine. I mean, Ebola wasn't really a worldwide pandemic, to be honest. So I don't think there's any really sense of, and there's a sense of urgency to get it out and get rid of it. But I don't think it's the same now, where there's a sense of urgency to start making a vaccine, and vaccine takes years to make, and it's like, I don't know. The timing is obviously, everyone is stressed, so that also adds to it. But fact is, of course, he can't force people of Edo State to take a vaccine that they don't want to take. Like, why? And of course, they'd protest. I mean, fine, is this a different thing? But then, it's a different thing if he did not include that you'd be limited to, into activities like weddings and stuff. I mean, for that alone, I think Nigerians may even find a way to go and get vaccinated anyway, because they cannot be denied access to such gatherings. But then, who will control it? People can make fake certificates. Is it Nigeria that is not, that has not been, industrialized, or Nigeria that is so behind the technology that wants to find innovative ways to control such? Absolutely not. So how will they control it? Are they going to send people to go to weddings and go to receptions and all that? I guess that's what they may do. But fact is, it's absolutely not right. It's morally incorrect. They cannot force people of Edo State to take vaccines and then limit what they can and cannot do. That's it. That is literally it. I mean, there's nothing else. But then, what gives satisfaction is that people are aware of this and they are willing to go and protest. That's it. They are making their voices heard. They are making their opinions known. So, we can say, okay, fine, these people are well independent enough to, make their voices heard and will not be easily intimidated. That's it. But what I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.